All right, welcome back once again. We're going to start talking about, remember your immune system is divided up into two major branches. We have the innate immune system and we have the adaptive immune system. And the adaptive immune system does not respond to something until you get exposed to it, until you actually meet that foreign substance. And usually we're thinking about microorganisms that we get exposed to. The innate immune system, most of the things that we've talked about up until now are available right away. Things like inflammation get stimulated immediately. You don't have to have met it before and have developed any sort of memory to it. All right, so your adaptive defenses, this branch of your immune system, major functions. Along with your innate immune system, it is protecting against infectious agents, microorganisms. Now also abnormal body cells like cancerous cells, this branch of your immune system does help you control cancers. It doesn't always work, but probably a lot of us develop cancer cells in our body all the time, and this branch of your immune system actually recognizes those as foreign to the body and clears them out without us even realizing it. So this, the inflammation response, we were talking about things like your neutrophils and macrophages swarming in and gobbling up microorganisms. A lot of times that clears everything out. But as I mentioned before, the microorganisms that are really good at making us sick, they have their own sets of weapons and strategies to get around our innate defenses. And so this is like your next line of defense that has to kick in and help you clear those guys out. Activates complement. Don't worry about that. I should have eliminated that from the slide. Actually, we're not going to talk about the complement system here in this particular course. You'll hear more about complement. That's a protein-based system. Those are some protein weapons that help you clear out some infectious microorganisms. Some key features of your adaptive immune responses. They are specific, okay, and they respond to or recognize antigens. Now, that's something that's key to know. An antigen is a molecule that this branch of the immune system responds to. Antigen literally means antibody generator. And we've already talked about how antibodies are protein weapons that this branch of your immune system makes that attach to or attack. You can think about them as attacking things that are foreign to the body. So antibodies are our weapons. Antigens are the things that this branch of your immune system is recognizing as foreign, things that it's supposed to react to. Adaptive immune responses are systemic, so once they're generated, they spread all the way across the body. They're not local. Like, a lot of times inflammation is just occurring in a local area, but what if some of those microorganisms escape to other parts of the body? It's good that these adaptive defenses are systemic. They spread across the whole body. Memory. What that really means is the first time you get exposed to a particular microorganism, some particular strain of influenza, for example, you're going to generate an adaptive immune response. So cells and weapons and other types of weapons that respond to that particular strain of the flu. The next time you get exposed to that same strain of the flu, this branch of your immune system is going to recognize it right away. And it's going to bring out this big arsenal and clear that microorganism out of your body so quickly you're probably not even going to get sick from it or even realize it was there. So that's memory. All right, in the very first lecture for the immune system, I mentioned that there are two branches of the adaptive immune system. One is called humoral or antibody-mediated immunity. And again, antibodies are proteins. They're not cells. And then you also have cellular or cell-mediated immunity. These are T lymphocytes and those T lymphocytes can react to very specific foreign invaders. So you have cellular weapons and you have these antibody weapons as well. All right, so again, this term antigen. Now, for some reason, quite a few students get antibodies and antigens confused. Antigens are the bad guys. Those are the things that you're reacting to. Antibodies are supposed to be your good guys. Those are your weapons that you are using to help clear out things that are foreign to the body. So an antigen is anything that's going to mobilize your adaptive defenses, or it will stimulate these adaptive defenses, kind of like you're mobilizing an army to bring it in to fight something, and provoke an immune response. It's going to be an antigen. And so what are antigen is a very general term, and most antigens are large, complex molecules. So they're, not little small things like glucose or amino acids or a sodium ion, things like that. Your adaptive immune system does not react to little itty-bitty types of molecules and ions. The molecules that it responds to are proteins, glycoproteins, carbohydrates, and then there are lipid protein and lipid carbohydrate combinations. So they're mostly large organic molecules, those ones you learn about in the chemistry portion of Biology 201. They're things that have a complex three-dimensional shape. Those can be termed as antigens. All right, and these antigens that this branch of your immune system responds to are not supposed to be things that are manufactured in your own body. So they're supposed to be non-self molecules, not things that are part of your own body. This branch of your immune system is supposed to react to foreign things. So it's supposed to react to proteins on the surface of an HIV virus, or carbohydrates that are on the surface of the bacteria that cause whooping cough, things like that. It's not supposed to respond to proteins that are sitting on the surfaces of your own cell membranes. Okay, so who are our main cells of the adaptive immune system, this branch? These are going to be your lymphocytes, and those include the B lymphocytes, or the B cells, and these are the ones that make antibodies. Okay, they make or secrete those, and antibodies are actually proteins themselves that are able to attach to antigens. Antibodies bind to antigens. You've already heard that before when we went over blood typing. And then you have your T lymphocytes, or your T cells, and these are cellular warriors that are generated in response to particular antigens that are located on foreign substances. Then you also have cells that are called antigen presenting cells, and these include your macrophages. So your macrophages, we heard about them over with your innate immunity. But they also play a role in stimulating this branch of your immune system, getting it ramped up. And dendritic cells, maybe you guys remember dendritic cells. You might have talked about those when you cover the skin in Biology 201. Those are spidery looking cells that are sitting in the skin, and also some of your mucous membranes, and they're poised and positioned there. They're spidery. They have these long appendages that reach out and intercept microorganisms and other foreign substances that are trying to get past the skin and your mucous membranes. And they also are involved in stimulating your T lymphocytes, getting them ramped up and going. And we're not going to cover those processes in this particular class, how those antigen presenting cells jazz up your T cells, but you will hear about that when you take your microbiology class. Okay, so the next lecture we're actually going to focus in on our B lymphocytes and learn more about antibodies, these antibody weapons that we hear about all the time and are such crucial players in our adaptive immune system. So that'll be the focus for lecture number 9.